come on. Oh, darn. Okay, I think it's nice. It's 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. It is the 4th. I pronounce it fourth. F-O-U. It's not spelled this way, kids. F-O-U-R-F-T-H, because I like saying fifth, because fifth has a second F in it. The V turns into an F. 5. It becomes an F with fifth. And so I like to say fourth, but it's actually fourth. F-O-U-R-T-H, which is a different word from come forth or go forth, which is F-O-R-T-H. Anyway, that's just your little English lesson from from Hakey Bear. What's up, everybody? Sup, Everblazer? Thanks for the support, as always. Nugget Man, I think I feel you, to use the black vernacular. No homo. I disclaim everything that I say on this show. Hake, as in the Hake Report, does not represent Hake. I don't even represent myself. And myself does not represent me. Who are you? Oops. Anchor Baby will be live. He's already scheduled, everybody. So make sure that you click the bell and ring it twice. Just kidding. Don't ring it twice. But, you know, what's up, kids? Hey, kids and mothers. Shout out to the ladies. I scoff, which is a judgment. It's effeminate. It's not right. Men don't cringe. I scoff at the Epstein survivors, and I laugh at you. Ha, ha, ha. Suckers who fell for the Epstein melodrama. It has descended into and revealed itself as a bunch of phony, effeminate, woman victimhood survivor. I'm a survivor. Isn't that some woman song? Which is a great song. All songs are liberal. It's just a bunch of phony drama. Kids. They weren't kids. They were like in their 20s, many of them. A bunch of these women who are saying, I was groomed at 21. Granted, you're creeping me out, hey, says Peace in the Puzzle. I know, I get it. I will get to your calls, guys, and you can come at me, Mark in Los Angeles. You're playing dumb, Hake. No, I am dumb and I am ignorant, but I saw right through Virginia Roberts Giuffre. May she rest in peace. But she was not in peace, and she had no rest. You know how God in the Bible talked about, they will never enter my rest. It's in the Bible. And she never seemed to show signs of entering God's rest in the casual observations I made and judgments I made on her. This Virginia Roberts Giuffre, famous Epstein victim, famous. Was she a liar? She recanted some of her claims. She made multiple claims that Alan Dershowitz, according to Michael Tracy, liberal, independent journalist, and egotistical man like all of us extraordinaire, and women too are egotistical as well. But man means men and women, and guys means guys and gals. Spare me your watch the gendered language, Hake. Not that there's anybody like that in the chat, but you're welcome. You gendered language police are welcome on the Hake Report, as are the flat earthers and Epstein screamers, Jew blamers, and Jew lovers, all alike, and baltards and anti-feminists and the feminists are all welcome here on the Hake Report. But it was Michael Tracy said that this woman was a big-time unreliable source. He said it, and I'm hiding behind his words because I disclaim my own words as well as his. He doesn't represent me, nor I even myself. Okay, so take everything that you hear with a grain of salt. But Alan Dershowitz, he got her to recant that claim because she claimed multiple times. And according to Michael Tracy, this woman fabricated claims and she was behind the original rumor about it was a whole pedophile ring. And it was a whole, and it was blackmail of these big names. I remember a young lady, Jewish, called into, I can dox her first name if I wanted to, called into the Jesse Lee Peterson show multiple times and talked about childhood trauma and stuff. And there's a Virginia woman, very similar, a runaway. What does that tell you? A runaway who was recruited in her mid to late teens. And these people, runaways, are not trustworthy. They're liars. And women just make up stuff, seemingly. And it's sort of shocking to a lot of us who don't tend to want to make up stuff, at least not so blatantly. We tend to, if we make up stuff, it's more intellectual and subtle deception and confusing. So everybody does make up stuff. But they just blatantly make up stuff. This young woman called JLP saying, Hunter Biden, ard her. And JLP said, if that's not true, you're lying. Because if it were true, you wouldn't be calling into the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show and saying it. And so these women are seeking after fame and ego and attacking, hate men and attacking, and they love lies. They're listening to the father of lies. So, and so shame on MTG Marjorie Taylor Greene. Shame on, I'm saying this, okay, I disclaim myself and I disclaim Bond and Bond disclaims me. But anyway, on that Thomas Massey simp, calling them survivors, like as if he killed anybody. And shame on that Ro Khanna Democrat, whom although Ro Khanna may be less worse than all of them, even though he's a male Democrat. These three congressmen, one of them a female, one of them a total simp, even though he's supposedly conservative and better than Trump in his mind and in many people's minds, because he's not pro-Israel as much as Trump is. And he's not owned by AIPAC. And Ro Khanna, shame on all those three, because they're simping for the so-called survivors and pretending like, oh, we're going to make our own Epstein list, these ladies say. And you're not supposed to listen to the testimony of a woman. You're not supposed to accept it. I think you're supposed to have a man agree. And MTG was, I heard a clip of MTG Marjorie Greene saying, it's not just these rich, powerful men. It's the police. It's the maids. It's the security guards. It's the gardeners of Epstein who aided and abetted this stuff. We're going to name all of them. And they're doing that because these women would get sued for defamation, according to them. And so they can get away with it by talking about it on the House floor and say allegedly. And so they're just going to smear people's names on the word of some women, and they'll make sure that it looks like it's credible, credibly accused, right? This person has been credibly accused of this, which doesn't mean that he's actually guilty, these men. So a bunch of phoniness. Anyway, that's the little rant, big dumb rant. On this anti-man propaganda. It's a bunch of anti-man propaganda, and you fell for it, suckers. That's from the waitresses. I know what boys like. I know what they need. Anyway, what's up, everybody? We're going to get going here. Age of Inversion says, I honestly don't care about the women. I care about the sovereignty of the United States of America. So you think, man. And I say that because you remind me of this guy who thinks he cares about life on the Jesse Lee Peterson show about he's a pro-lifer from Australia. I think it was the first caller on JLP today. And he justified his passion, which is hatred, because the babies are innocent and they deserve a chance. And that doesn't justify your passion. So anyway, you could be self-deceived, Age of Inversion, but shout out, man. Thank you for being a mod and a faithful viewer. It doesn't look like you're a monthly subscriber. You're welcome to. On the Hake Report Rumble, I'm live on Rumble and YouTube and elsewhere. So I think I'm pretty much ready to go, but I just need to do, oh, Lord have mercy. Let me get stuff ready here. So if I unmute these things and unmute this, step by step, right? Step by step by step. The lines are filling up. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. Look at that. Is that huge glacier that's shrinking, or is that fake? Look, there's swimming pools in this glacier thing. Or it's ice-covered land, perhaps. I don't even know. But let me bring in some Hake visuals, not fake visuals. And we'll get going here. Yeah, you're in your head too, Age of Inversion, because you don't even know. You're basing your sovereignty of the United States on this blackmail thing that was promoted by the liar Virginia Giuffre. Let God be true and every man a liar. Okay, so I'm not saying that she was lying about the thing, although I'm suggesting that it might be the case that she is lying about the thing. Although I disclaim everything. Take everything with a grain of salt, whether it's Virginia Giuffre or Hakey Hake. All right? So I think now I'm ready. So anyway, guys,
it's a fact.
Let's just get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. And I started to say, I feel you, Nugget Man. And I was using the black vernacular because I listened to my show a little bit. And I listened to the Anchor Baby. And I listened to some other show on YouTube, or a little clip on YouTube by some other channel. And it was significantly louder. It's possible even Anchor Baby was a little louder than Hake. So, I feel you. But I'm glad you're still in there. I'm glad you're still here. Barely audible. Hake Report, the quietest show on YouTube, says, come on, man, barely audible. Except for the screaming. What a mess. And he says, okay. And so I told Bill, the engineer, and Anchor Baby is well aware of the complaints. And there are two witnesses, Nugget Man and Come On Man. Come On Man is a touch bit of a hater, but he's a faithful viewer. And he, so they know, they're aware of this. They are monitoring the situation. There's nothing we can necessarily do about it right now, but we're monitoring the situation, and maybe we'll figure it out one day. Pardon us. The show audio is just in general quiet. And it's been, and Come On Man, do you agree with Nugget Man that it was only a matter of a few weeks that it's been the case this way, or do you think it's always been the case this way? Just let me know in the comments preferably, because I can't monitor the chat very closely. Nice. Let me know in the comments. You know how you always comment? Saying the show is barely audible is not hating. I agree. Come on, man. I was talking about being a hater about, for example, you think that what's his name doesn't add to the show when I have him on, Krishan the Dawn. That's why I call you a hater. I wasn't calling you a hater for saying that the show is barely audible. I like that. I appreciate. In fact, I don't remember having my volume up this high before, says he. Okay, so both of my witnesses say that it's been quieter lately. And this is just lately. So thank you for the input. Much obliged and appreciated. Ladies first. Marilyn in Florida is on the line here. Marilyn, thank you for calling. What an honor. How are you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Doing fine. Can I dox your ethnicity? Are you Latina?
I'm white, Irish, and Hispanic. Yeah.
Aha. Nice. Okay. Thank you for thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Jesse pissed me off, so I had to call you.
So you got ticked at Jesse and come and cry on Hakey Hake's shoulder.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I'm glad I got to talk to you though, for once. So like, why doesn't Jesse think he's God? Why don't we think we're all God?
Because there's only one God, and we are not God.
But we're all part of the one body.
One body of Christ, but Christ is not God. He's the Son of God.
Christ isn't God now?
Huh?
Oh, Lord, Hake.
What?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord,
what do you mean Christ is not God?
He's the Son of God. He's God's Son.
He's still God.
Do you agree with the Bible? Or do you agree with your
Jesus
imagination?
God?
Huh?
But he's a king. He told Pontius Pilate he was a king not of this world, of this place.
Right.
So we're all kings and queens. We're all the highest. We're all of God, gods. If we're not of God, then we're not. Then we're of the devil, right?
Why do you hold on to this idea so?
Because I feel like if you think you are a sinner, and you think other people are sinners and they do wrong and bad, then you should hang out with the sinners because that's where you belong. That's what you think about. That's what your mind's on. You come from your father, the devil, because you feel like people are sinners. So you belong to the devil. You don't belong to God. I'm perfect as my Father in heaven is perfect. I'm everything my Father is. He who sent me has not left me. There is a line. You know, there's a line.
I hear a lot of the facts that you're spouting are factual facts, in that you're supposed to be perfect. But how do you know that you're being perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect, as Jesus said to be?
Are you telling me I have to put in effort to be perfect?
No, I didn't tell you anything. I asked, how do you know?
Well, I don't have to work for it. I already am.
Okay, but how do you know that you already are?
Because objective truth does not have an agenda. Truth does not have agenda. God is truth.
You sound like Ben Shapiro.
No, I'm not a Jew, Lord.
How do you know that you're not a Jew?
Because I don't repent.
The Jews repent and you don't?
Right. Jesus died. Jesus died for all that. He was blameless. Why would he have to be blameless if he didn't cover us with grace? And if grace requires cooperation, then it's no longer grace. Like, Jesus didn't even have to be blameless. Jews repent.
Oh, well, the King of the Jews and, the guy who came before the King of the Jews said to repent. John the Baptist?
Okay. Well, he died, so he served the devil. He was an idol worshiper. He gave more power and authority to death than he did to God's promises over us.
John the Baptist? Are you smearing John the Baptist's good name now?
Jesus said we would never perish, but have everlasting life.
How do you know that? How do you know that John perished?
Because they said he got his head cut off.
That doesn't mean that he perished.
He died in the flesh.
His body died in the flesh, yeah, but did Jesus say you will never die in the flesh?
Do you really think from the beginning, when God created us in God's image and blessed us and called us very good, that we were somehow, the flesh wasn't just as precious to him as the spirit? That we kill the flesh because we belong to the devil, and that's why we kill the flesh?
So down the road, if God forbid, somehow or another you were to get killed some way by your own unhealthful living or by somebody else's violence, would that prove that you're not God and you're a sinner like John the Baptist?
Well, that's a hypothetical. That hasn't happened. That's not happening. So we can't wager it in.
Are you saying that we have to wait for? Are you saying that we have to wait till tomorrow or so to find out if you die or live?
I think we could harness the energy to live forever.
I too would love and have fantasized and wished that I would live forever, that the rapture would happen before the tribulation, and that it would happen before I die, so I don't have to die. My physical body, because I'm very attached to my physical body, and I don't want to die.
Right.
And so I feel you, to use the black vernacular. So it sounds like wishful thinking.
Not wishful thinking. If you don't serve the devil, the Bible clearly says that the death is an enemy. It's an enemy. And some will walk in.
But don't you
like
notice?
us.
Don't you
Some will
notice
walk
that
in.
you're holding on to an idea and prideful about it and ticked? If you're God, how is God getting ticked over something Jesse's saying? Jesse's just being Jesse.
Because Jesse won't listen. Jesse just hangs up on
I know,
me
but
if I get a little bit.
God's not mad that people don't listen.
Jesse doesn't know he's God. Jesse doesn't think he's God. If he acted like God, if he knew he was God, he would act like God. He would have.
Then how come you're not? But how come you're not acting like God if you supposedly know you're God?
What makes you think I'm not acting like God?
Because you're getting ticked and you're a woman, being kind of a woman.
I'm a woman.
And you're kind of a Latina. Latinas are sometimes get kooky ideas, and you have a kooky idea, and you're holding on to it, which is very human and not very godly.
It's very godly. First of all, I would not be mean if people were not mean to me first. If they didn't throw the first stone,
Did you hear Jesus?
Nasty.
Did you read what Jesus said about?
I'm not an idol worshiper. Jesus made a whip on the spot. He made a whip on the spot.
But you said that Jesus is God.
Spot.
But you
Y'all
said
aren't in front of me.
You said Jesus is God. Are you discounting everything that Jesus said?
Jesus matched energy. Jesus
No, he
told the
didn't.
Pharisees. He did. He told the Pharisees they belonged to
Did you
the
hear
father,
what
the
Jesus
devil.
said? Okay, so what you said is, I'm mean to people who are mean to me. Something like that.
Jesus said...
No, hold on. Slow down, Marilyn.
All right, Hank.
Okay, so you said, I'm mean to people who are mean to me.
I don't have to be.
But you said that. That's what you do. And Jesus
said, that's what I did.
If you only love those who love you, does that make you better than the pagans and the Jews?
The Bible says, be angry, but do not sin. I'm not sinning because I believe these people are God.
Doesn't say to be angry.
People are not below or above me.
The Bible doesn't say to be angry.
It's just words, Hank. It's just words. You think words are going to put...
You're deviating from my question. I asked you a yes or no, and you're not letting your yes be yes and your no, no.
What's the yes or no, Hank?
Does that make you the same as the pagans and the Jews, that you treat others how they treat you? You only love those who love you, and you hate those who hate you?
We're all God. I love everyone.
That's
I don't
not a
hate
yes or no.
anyone just
You're
because I call
deviating.
them names. No, I don't. Whatever.
No, you're not. No, you're not any different from the pagans.
I'm God.
Yeah, that's what the pagans think too.
Well, they were right.
I gotta go.
One more thing about death. If in the beginning, if we didn't eat off either tree, if we didn't eat off the tree of life or the tree of good and evil, would we have died? Do you think God intended us to die if we didn't even eat off the tree of life? Do you still think we would have died?
I couldn't say.
All right. I love you, Hank.
Thank you, Marilyn. I appreciate it. Wise Latina. Bye. Nice. You know what else is nice? hearing from David in Ocala, Florida. David in Ocala, how you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning, man, or afternoon to
Wow,
you,
man.
because it's
That was some heavy duty stuff there, man.
and you're a Christian, and I feel like you could debunk every word she said.
Well, here she's not God. Okay, we're not God. We're not little gods. That's a teaching. Now, I didn't call about this, but I'll speak about this a little bit. You know, we're not little gods. Okay, and Jesus is the Lamb that was slain before the foundation of the world. So
Cool.
that means they already had that planned up. Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know everything. You know, the main thing about this whole thing is to get rid of the enemy, the devil. Okay, to get rid of Satan, because you got to realize, you know, he tried to take heaven over. So, and God knew it. So his plan. You know, he had this all planned out. You can't tell me that God didn't know that Eve was gonna eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. He knew he knew they were gonna do what they were gonna do. He knew they were gonna fall. He had the plan all ahead of time. Okay. And, you know, I do believe Jesus is God, and the only way that gets revealed to somebody is through the Holy Spirit. You know, God has to reveal that to the person.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Yep.
So, you know, like I told you before, I didn't realize he was God until I was 38 years old. Right in front of my face the whole time. Okay? You get me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Anyway, I called because you had somebody call yesterday about deja vu.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that before, Hake?
I have. I've had deja vu before.
Well, I got it so strong one day that I've never forgotten it. And what I did was I rode down to Tampa on a bus to visit a friend of mine for the week. It was I was 14, and it was Christmas holiday, you know. And so anyway, he picks me up at the bus station, and the Rams were playing the Buccaneers to go to the Super Bowl. So we're riding down the road, and he turned the radio on, and the game was playing. And I got deja vu so strong in the back seat of his car at that moment that it literally scared me.
Wow.
Yeah. So the other day, what's weird is the other day I was on YouTube, and somebody put that game on YouTube, the Rams playing the Buccaneers, and I saw the date, and it was 1/6/79. Interesting. Yeah, man. I mean, I got it so strong that day, it shook me up, man. I mean, it's almost like you get caught in some kind of time warp or something for like 2 or 3 seconds or something. Something happens when you get deja vu.
Yeah, it's like a trick on the brain or something.
Well, man, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
You know.
True.
And have you ever had sleep paralysis where you wake up and your mind wakes up but your body's still asleep? You ever had that happen?
I kind of have. Like I've had, you know, what people call like night terrors in the fairly distant past. Like I used to wake up screaming. I would wake up and I would think I see something. Like I think I see something right there. I would go, ah! Really loud. I covered the mic so it wouldn't be too loud for you guys, hopefully. And
but you're a little kid?
No, I actually wasn't a little kid. I was in like college when I started doing this.
Wow.
And yeah, college can be a dark time for people. And so I think it
was
because
of stress. The stress, man.
Yeah. Yep. And you're all emotional and into emotions and into all kinds of mess. So, yep, totally. But I as a little kid, I would sometimes dream that I couldn't cough, and I would go, and it would like bother me. It was terrifying. And then there would also be times where, you know, when you're held underwater and you want to breathe but you can't.
Uh-huh.
I would also dream that I couldn't breathe, and I was like either underwater or just plain couldn't breathe. It's crazy.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Man, the chat's going crazy about that, about Hake getting attacked by, But listen, I just saw this because the Lord of the Pies wrote Rams versus Bucs. What the F? That's old. Okay, I told y'all I was old.
So that was 1979, huh?
Yeah, I was 14. I just turned 14. I'm as old as every Super Bowl, so I know exactly what Super Bowl 60 is.
So you were born on Super Bowl I.
Well, no, I was born in December of '65, and Super Bowl I was in '67. So I was 1 year old. I turned
Okay,
one in
perfect.
December.
Nice. Yeah, because you were born at 0 years old, and so you were 1 on Super Bowl I, roughly.
Yeah. Well, I turned 1 in December of '66, and
Okay,
Super Bowl
February
I was
is
in January or something.
Yeah, January or
February. Yeah, of '67.
Cool.
Yeah.
Born in '66. Super Bowl. Oh,
no,
born in '65. Yeah.
December of '65.
Nice.
At the tail end.
So you were 1 in a month or so.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I was
That's
born
cool.
in a year. It was a year and a month from the time I was born.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it gets you messed up sometimes when you're born late in the year, trying to figure out, how old you were and all that kind of stuff, because it's not as easy because you're right there at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sleep
anyway, hey,
paralysis.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I wanted to bring up. You brought up that Virginia girl. Man, I think
Virginia Roberts Giuffre or Giuffre.
Yeah, I think they killed her.
You think they
I
killed
know
her?
you don't agree. Yeah,
Right.
I think they took her out.
And why would they do that in your mind?
Because that's how these people are, man. These people are crazy. I mean, they're just, dude, if we really knew what was really going on, it scared the heck out of people, man. They wouldn't know what to do. Okay. With the government.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think if we were to become aware of our own evil and how evil the little quote unquote evil we participate with and agree with, we would be also like horrified or shocked or it would be like a serious wake up realization. You know what I mean? Because spiritual evil is us, and we don't necessarily commit physical evils with our spiritual evil. But anyone who, as the Bible says, anyone who hates his brother is a murderer. And there's a whole lot of murderers spiritually walking around.
Well, back then, I think there was a lot of Jews that hated each other, okay?
Oh, yeah, big time, to this day.
Yeah, even to this day, they hate each other. But this is the sign. What you're seeing is the end of the days, man, because God says that the love of many will wax cold, and you're seeing that, okay? Because when a guy goes in and shoots up a Catholic school with a bunch of kids praying,
right,
and then you got a governor of the state of California that says prayer doesn't work. Look at that; those kids were praying, and the one got a bullet in his head.
Yeah,
I mean, so
rough.
So that's why people have a problem with God. A lot of people have a problem with God because they're like, hey, how could God let this happen? Okay.
Which is interesting because we get caught up with our own little things and we judge right and wrong, the stuff that other people do. And we start to get to judging God, we being human beings, right?
Human beings.
I don't think I've ever knowingly or consciously judged God. I've never got to where I was thinking that specifically. But people do, and I think that's just another symptom. I don't think that makes me better than somebody who judges them be God, quote unquote, in their mind. It's just a different thought, but it's still a thought, which is a lie.
Well, it's a sign of immaturity. Okay.
Yeah.
When my first wife left me and took my kids and destroyed my house or our house, okay, just destroyed our house in one day. Okay, I said to God, I thought you loved me. How could you let this happen to me? And I had a real problem with him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. To the point, like, we had been to an Easter service like 3 months before and sat in the front row, could feel God. And there was this, they gave us these paddle fans because it was a little hot. And anyway, when I was cleaning up this house that we had lived in to move out, I found this paddle fan in the backyard. Okay. And I picked that paddle fan up when I was and before I threw it in the back bed of this truck I had back there, because I was raking the yard, I just looked at that paddle fan and I said, God, what happened? Okay, so I was questioning God. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, 3 months ago, everything was great, and bam, just had the rug took out from underneath me, bro.
Doesn't that show
So-
you, though, that she was your false god?
Well, no, but what it showed me was that he later on I figured out he really did love me because he got me out of a super bad situation
With her?
Okay, and I also figured out that God had nothing to do with her doing what she did.
Yeah.
And that's what people have a hard time about. Like, God has nothing to do with that shooter that shot them kids.
Right.
Okay, he allowed this all to go down, so we could have eternal life, and he could bring us back, to him and give us glorified bodies and be in heaven forever and worship him. Okay, so, anyway, I learned not to question God after that.
Nice, man. Is God petty? Petty?
No, he's holy. So
Nice.
he's perfect. Yeah,
I find that when we play God, we're petty.
Well, that's why it says iniquity was found in Satan. Okay, so
Yeah,
he's the one that,
he played God, didn't he?
Yeah, he's the first narcissist. Okay, with the I.
Narcissist means all about yourself, right?
Oh yeah. I will ascend the hill of God. I will be like the Most High. Okay, he said. That's in Isaiah 14. I will sit on the mount of the congregation. So he tried to take over heaven. And he, that's you see these people in your life, man, when they try to, it's all about them. There's a lot of women out there that are like that now. Okay, you got me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of women, may I ask you, did you happen to see any of the press conference of the Epstein survivors?
You mean like when she was walking outside down the streets and stuff?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Virginia.
No, I'm talking about just yesterday or the day before.
Oh no, I didn't see anything about that.
Oh, okay.
That's just a big cover up, man. That's a smoke screen.
So
these
so-called survivors are providing a smoke screen.
Oh no, I'm saying the people who participated with these young women. Okay, it's ridiculous. All the people that rode on the plane and went over there to the island, and they all like kids, man. They all like little children. Okay.
Wait a minute.
They're messed up in the head.
Oh, you mean they are sexually attracted to little children?
Yeah. Don't you remember that thing called Pizzagate? Okay.
I've heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
But why did you? What
We're
did
gonna
you
have
mean?
pizza and hot dogs. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay.
What do you mean smoke screen?
Oh, I just meant that not what you were saying. I got confused. I'm saying they smoke it. They're just. I don't even watch the news anymore, buddy.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the news in 2 years. I'll watch stuff on YouTube, but I won't watch the news.
Yeah. Okay.
I went to my mother's house about 3 months ago, and she turned on the news, and within 5 minutes, they dumped so much negative stuff out that television set, and my mother went into the other room, and I told my father, I said, now I know why I don't watch the news.
Oh, because it's just trash.
It's just garbage, man. It's one bad thing after another, and it just, I just don't want to deal with that.
I think even people who are into grown women and participating with grown women in those perverted things, meaning having sex out of wedlock and getting all lustful like that, are messed up in the mind. It's more understandable, you could say, in that it's what happens to men and to women, but it's also like a mess, you know, this lustfulness, giving into the lustfulness.
Why do you think
It'll be a man's undoing in one way or another.
Right. Well, there's been plenty of women that took men down. Okay, that's why men don't want to get married no more. I mean, what do you want to do? You want to marry some woman, invest 15 years of your hard-working life into a house and a family, and have her just take over half your stuff and send you packing, tell you when you can see your kids, okay? And then she just hooks up with somebody else, and now she's got dual income.
Yeah. Interesting.
So they don't figured it out.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But listen, that's why you have all these dating sites and all this stuff.
Yeah, that neediness.
Yeah, well, but let me tell you something. I can talk to a woman in 5 to 10 seconds and tell if she's a lady or not, okay?
Yeah. And
if I would even be interested in them, okay? If I was single, okay?
Right.
You got what I'm saying? So
kind of.
Watch this. I'll leave you with this, Hank, because I know you got to go. This is what I do when a woman gets I went to a friend of mine's 80th birthday party, okay, like a year ago.
Wow.
And there was this girl sitting next to me, and she just acted like she was like a 5, okay, and she was acting like she was like a 9.5 or something. And she said something smart to me. So I just never replied back to her. She tried to talk to me 2 times after that, and I just didn't say a dang word to her. That's how you treat them kind of girls, okay? You just shut up. And they get the hint after you don't reply to them twice.
Okay.
So, yeah, but anyway. All right, man. Well, listen, have a great day, bro, okay?
You as well, David. Appreciate you. Take care.
All right, anytime, man. Later on.
Bye. I was chuckling. I didn't want to get into a conversation about it with David. Shout out to David. But I was chuckling when he said she was like a 5. That just feels so worldly. But he comes from he grew up in a worldly way. He's a Christian now, but it's so worldly, it feels like, to judge women's appearances and call them between a 1 and a 10. 10 being the most beautiful or attractive in the S word evil way, or 1 being the least attractive, or a 0. Is there any woman who's a 0? I guess she's dead. Rest in peace. All women become 0s in their bodies. That's why it's good not to be identified with your body, I suppose. He was taking notes. 5s are average. Everyone is a 5, says Chris. You sound like me calling people mildly attractive. One can be also somewhat repulsive while also being mildly attractive. Or not. All right. Let's keep things moving, shall we? Let me get to Mitt in Australia over here. Mitt, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, hey, brother. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Hey, so I wanted to talk about the whole Adam and Eve thing, because it's been brought up about 4 or 5 times about God making woman with one of Adam's ribs. Like Adam goes to sleep, and then God in his dream takes one of Adam's ribs and makes woman. So can I ask you a question, hey?
Sure.
Do you think men have one more rib than females?
Do I think that men have one more rib than women?
Yeah, don't look it up. You can't look it up.
You're sounding awful. I get that you're calling from Australia. Are you on like a speakerphone or a Bluetooth or a headset or AirPods? You're calling me on regular phone, right? Maybe you're calling me from like the bunker. Are you calling me from underneath a tin roof?
No, I took it off speaker as soon as you came on. Let me see if this is, hold on. If I go like that, is that better?
Maybe so. Just speak close to the mic, close to the receiver, and I'll turn you up.
Okay.
That sounds good. Thank you.
I think you're cheating. I think you're looking it up and you're checking if men and women have the same amount of ribs.
No,
But honestly,
stay out of your thoughts.
fake
I'm not
memory-
looking it up. Do men and women have different numbers of ribs?
Yes. is the
Really? So
question.
men have an extra rib compared to women?
No, I'm asking you, do you think that, or do you think they're both the same?
I don't know. I haven't thought about that.
Because the Bible.
We do only have a finite number of ribs, of course.
I always
Hake is very
remember as
smart.
a kid men having one more rib than females. But
Oh, I
I
don't
looked
know.
it up recently,
Uh-huh.
and it's part of the Mandela effect, and we actually both have the same amount of ribs.
Okay.
It's a false remembrance or a false memory that we made up. Like, I would have thought that when they were writing the Bible, the Vatican would have said, check the bone records, like kill some slaves in front of me and check how many ribs, you know what I mean? And check.
So
and
you
double-check
so
the
you
facts.
misremembered. You thought it was a fact, but you were sure it was a fact that men have an extra rib compared to women.
Yeah, I did. I did, yes, but they actually we both have the same. It's like a Mandela.
Yeah,
I saw-
Mandela meaning people remembered, quote unquote, that Nelson Mandela died when long before he actually died.
We remember the street
Or that I
ceremony,
remember,
on television.
or that I remember that Scott Adams died when he's actually alive at this point, I believe. Shout out to Scott Adams.
There's some trippy stuff happening. CERN is
It's kind of like
messing with
deja
something,
vu.
I'm
It's a trick
telling
of the
ya.
mind. The mind lies to you.
Yeah, or something trippy's going on with CERN, and they're playing with elemental magic. Like ether used to be on our when I was at school on our, and now ether, it's not on our elemental table. There is no ether on the elemental table anymore. Like they've taken
So
all
ether,
these trippy
ether is not in
Yeah.
the table of elements?
No, but it used to be. I remember it being in the table of elements, and then all of a sudden now it isn't. It's trippy stuff like that. It's like, what's going on?
You know what? There's. I have another story about this.
Yeah.
I
Me too.
specifically
Go on. Tell me.
I specifically remember this was during the Mike Brown case.
Mike Brown case. Okay, tell me. I don't know the Mike Brown
Ferguson,
case.
Missouri, the gentle giant supposedly said, "Hands up, don't shoot." And one specific detail I remember, I feel like we played it in a clip even. I think I was producer at the time, 2014-ish or so.
Okay.
And Officer Darren Wilson, according to the police chief or the police captain or whatever this man was of Ferguson, Missouri, had a news conference. And he brought up that there was this sunshine request about Mike Brown doing the strong arm robbery earlier, just minutes earlier, perhaps, in the day.
Okay.
Or an hour earlier or so, I don't know.
But
Where
a
he
certain
seems,
way,
where he appeared to strong arm and shove a guy, and maybe even robbed this store clerk, the Swisher Sweets, and this guy who's this police representative who's giving this police press conference, says that he doesn't have information on whether or not Officer Darren Wilson knew about the strong arm robbery. Okay, and so he said that he doesn't know whether or not. He basically said, "I don't have information on whether Officer Darren Wilson knew about the strong arm robbery," is what they called it, if I remember right. But that's not the Mandela effect. The Mandela effect is, I seem to recall the liberal news media lying about that and saying Officer Darren Wilson did not know that those Swisher Sweets were part of that strong arm alleged robbery or not. That he did not know, but that's not what the cop said. This is not what the police representative chief, whatever, said. He said he didn't have information on whether he knew or not, and it turned out that he did know, but the media jumped on a lie in their minds and said that they didn't have the information on whether or not he knew at that point, but he did know about it. He had heard the call, and he did see the Swisher Sweets in the man's hands walking in the middle of the street. And so, but I went back and tried to find that clip, and I couldn't find it.
I couldn't find it.
And there's another Mandela effect, and it may or may. I'm pretty sure that was what happened. And then there was another time when Tamir Rice.
But you can vividly remember it in your mind.
Yeah, totally, because I'm like, the media is making this up.
And the monocle.
The media is making this up. And then there was another time where I thought that I remembered seeing the guy with the pellet gun. Tamir Rice, the 12-year-old or 14-year-old, whatever he was, who was walking around brandishing this realistic-looking pellet gun, and seem to recall him looking like he was pointing it at people, and at a pair of people or something. But I went back and tried to find video footage. And I couldn't, and I could see the video footage of him walking around and pointing it in general, but I didn't remember, I don't think that I saw him pointing it at people. And so I'm like, did they wipe footage of him pointing it at people, or did I misremember it, or what? So that's
Trippy, your memory doesn't lie, eh? Like,
but your memory does lie. You can misremember stuff all the time.
Yeah, well, I've got a trippy one with there was this guy, like, I don't keep up to date with modern day rap and all the new age names and that, but I remember it was a guy, and I swore it was Little Xan. It was the guy that took all the Xanax and would take all the Xans. And I remember him dying in the back of the truck, like, he said he got some Xans that must have been laced with fentanyl or something like that. And his crew checked on him, and they checked on him 3 hours later, and he wasn't breathing. And then all of a sudden, like, I looked up his little Xans, like I was like seeing when he died, and it said, nah, still alive to this day. So it's like, and then so I don't know. We remember stuff, and then it's trippy. Because I remember Nelson Mandela dying too. I remember when they hung Saddam Hussein on TV. And the clip they have on YouTube now of that is completely different to what we saw on TV. Like, we saw the whole thing that he was up high on that, like, with all these military people around him and the staircase beside him, and before they put the rope around his neck and the whole everything. Like, I reckon you all should take down Iran. They've got heaps of oil. Like, come on, America, be great, be like soldiers, and like. All it would take to be great is if you woke up one day and said, we are great, and said that to the world, and the whole world would be like clapping at you all, and being like, finally, it's not a past tense. I hope.
Nice.
We love you, America, from Australia,
Right on. Love you too, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, take care.
Like, what did we get? 10% tariffs or something? I've never even heard of a tariff before. Like, some of the Great White Hope's, like, crazy stuff he's doing. Like, I don't even know what a tariff is.
Right. Yeah, tariffs are so old school and manly stuff that people don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
By the way, I got a chat from my pilled.net viewer, Chops ITMC, something like that. Says, random fact, 1 in 20 men have a 13th rib and never know. Says
Chops.
My
God, so we do. There is a man.
1 in 20.
1 in 13. 1 in 13, is it?
1 in 20 have a 13th rib.
1 in 20 have a 13th rib.
So that's 5%
so
of
some
men.
Of us do.
The top
there
5%.
You go.
Maybe they're the Nephilim.
My memory doesn't lie to me, and what we taught in school was real. Because I swear I learned it in school that and I went to partially at a Catholic school for a little while.
Yeah, they're probably telling old wives' tale at the Catholic school.
Yeah, it could have been that too, but like, that's good to hear that. Yeah, so they are men with an extra rib every 1 in 2020.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, thank you, man. Appreciate it, man. Good to hear from you.
All right. Have a lovely rest of the night, and I'm listening. I'm going to be up till the morning, so I'm listening to you go off anyway. Lots of love, hey.
Thank you, sir. What time is it?
It is 2:54. 2:50. Just click 2:55 in the morning.
Nice.
Lots
All right.
of love.
Take care.
You're the best.
All right.
Rule the world.
Bye.
You.
I only found that out when I was getting radiology for something else, says Chops ITMC. Nephilim confirmed. What's the singular version for Nephilim? Nephila? Nephilu? Nephilim? Nephilim? All right. My goodness. Let me read a few super chats. I will get to your calls. I do see them. And I do appreciate them. My goodness, this is ridiculous. Let's see. I'll just do this. And do that. And do this. Okay. I think I saw a new super chat. Did I? Maybe I'm confused. What's up, Jules Verne? Is that Creighton posing as Holly something? Holly R? Not to be confused with others. Oh yeah, there certainly are more super chats that have come in. What's up, Chirp Alerter? Thank you for the... he says, ask her out, James. Oh, Lord. And I'm just going to ignore this meme that you started, Kilo Alpha Tango. Anyway, at this point, just call me Mike, says, with 3 coffees. I'll take you to the candy shop. Whoa, 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 whoa. I can't read this. It sounds like a rap, and raps are degenerate. Go ahead, girl, don't you stop. Whoa, I can't read that whole thing. Don't read that whole thing, kids. But thank you. At this point, just call me Mike. That sounds like a degenerate. I'll let you... Go ahead. Don't you stop. Keep going till you hit the... Whoa. Says, at this point, just call me Mike with 3 coffees. Okay, so, again, never read the screen or snake pit and cover your ears, kids. Says, and sorry, ladies. It seems like it's wrong, and maybe my mind is just dirty. Anyway, we'll keep it moving. Caesar or Cesar, right? That's the correct order, right? Seeing that would be Caesar, and then with the accent, it would be Cesar. Cesar. With 3 coffees. Sup, Hake? Couple random points from me today. William number 7. With all due respect, stop calling the Hake Report to answer JLP biblical questions, you boomer. Laughing face with tears. I think he's Gen X, but he could be a Gen X boomer. And he says, with all due respect. Okay, so that's his request. William number 7. Alex from Texas is on his way to become one of my favorite callers. This was an amazing top-tier call yesterday. Yeah, it was pretty interesting, huh? Thank you for the feedback there, Caesar. Regarding something Alex said, if God is single-minded and Freemasons believe in duality, does that mean they believe in the devil? Women who fall in the 8, 9, or 10 on the rating scale are beautiful, but also crazy. Marilyn looks like she's an 8, in my opinion. Laughing face with tears coming off. No wonder she thinks she's God. That's all. Be safe, everyone. 10, maybe Black Hispanic. Not to dox his ethnicity, but I guess I just did, maybe, if I remember right. Be safe, everyone. Thanks hands / praying hands, thumbs up, and celebration hands with energy emanating from those hands. Popcorn's thump keg. I normally do an extra timestamp, especially for popcorn. What are your thoughts on the Great White Hope, GWH, mulling over the idea of sending federal troops to various cities under the guise? Guise suggests that it's your wording, guise, under the guise, sounds like it's a disguise. Is guise necessarily a disguise, meaning a misleading, false reason? Under the guise of enforcing law and order. I love it. He asks, is there any mama spirit, quote unquote, in that decision? In that it's not the federal government's job to deal with generic crime in a U.S. state? Interesting. I don't know. It might well be, because Trump not only has fatherly love for the blacks, he also might have some mama love for the blacks. Can you have father's love and mama's love? I don't know. Some people may slip into mama sometimes, but in general, they are of the father. Perhaps. How would I know? I'm all mama. uh, anyway, do you agree with the notion of mama spirit, Popcorn? It seems like you may. I know you're a small government guy. I am, that's true. Just wondering what you think when you see federal government involvement in state and local matters. I know you've been critical when the Justice Department got involved in local issues. Indeed, I have. I have indeed. Does that criticism extend to military involvement? When is it mama spirit and when is it not? Asks Popcorn. Pretty interesting question there, Popcorn. So, what do I think of the Great White Hope mulling over the idea of sending federal troops to various cities, such as Chicago, maybe even Los Angeles, maybe even New York City? He already did it with a federal-owned city, right? Washington, D.C. I think that's its own place. It's not a state. It's it belongs to all of us. Notwithstanding that the people who live there actually have a bit of have a stake in the matter, but sometimes the people who live there just get used to the hell that it is. Just like New Yorkers, liberals from the New York subway, they treat it as like a badge of honor that the subway is just trashy and ugly and people making you feel uncomfortable, or at least making people who aren't used to it feeling uncomfortable with their craziness, acting crazy. And they're like, I'm tough. I'm used to that. It's no big deal. These lame-o liberals. So people can get used to the hell, and Trump is like, no, this shouldn't be. You're bringing down our capital, Washington, D.C., you criminals, and you people who are sticking up for pretending like this crime is the norm and not extraordinarily an extraordinary emergency, just because we're all used to it, having allowed it to go out of control for several decades, you know? I don't see it necessarily as mama, okay? One could certainly do it with mama spirit. One could do the same action as a mama person can do the same action as the father, but in a different spirit. Okay, so you can't judge the spirit based on the action necessarily. Sometimes you can, but sometimes, in this case, I don't think you can. You know, it's the federal, to use the phrase that the liberals, the big government types, like to use to promote the general welfare. It's in the federal government's purview to promote the general welfare. And what could be better for the general welfare or general well-being of a city than to get rid of its out-of-control crime or put the clamp down on it, show them how it's done. You know, the high crime is an excuse for big government. You know how they complain about the militarization of the police? You're militarizing the police. You know what gives them the excuse to militarize the police? Out of control crime. It gives them the excuse to take the guns away from the people. In their minds, it's an excuse, right? There's no excuse to take away the guns of the people, in my mind. Generally speaking. So, nice. You know, you said that I'm a small government guy, and I do appreciate that. I am flattered. Kind of. I don't know. It's not my main issue, really. I do talk about it sometimes. But I saw this thing, and I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of okay with this communism. if we want to call this communist. You know I love this guy, Cernovich. He says, you're doing an incredible job. He posts on X, right? It's not saying it necessarily. Maybe he said it to his thing. You press the record thing. I'm like, let me post a tweet right now. Okay. Hey guys! Exclamation mark. So I literally posted on X on my James Anton Hake account. Hey guys! I said, hey guys. So it's not just that I stated or posted, hey guys, I said it. So it might be the case that Cernovich said this. You're doing an incredible job. The only people who disagree are disgusting looking, says he. Let me prove to you that I said it, just for kicks. Watch this. On James Anton Hake, A-N-T-O-N, it says, hey guys. I'll repost it from the Hake Report account. From my influencer account. Anyway, here. Okay, so you're doing where are we? You're doing an incredible job. The only people who disagree are disgusting looking, says Cernovich. Except for this guy who's not necessarily completely disgusting looking, but that may be because he's pro-LGBT, and some of those pro-LGBT males are all vain because they're visual oriented. Males tend to be visual oriented, so they try to keep their looks up the way that females try to keep their looks up, whereas lesbians are emotionally drawn to one another, so they sometimes allow themselves to go, tend to let themselves sometimes go. So these are like the CDC people about whom Cernovich might be calling looking disgusting. And this guy, he actually does kind of, that's an interesting story. I flashed to an interesting story about Jordan Peele. This guy does look kind of disgusting looking. Ugh, it just makes me shudder. But he's not fat. Okay, so fat, shout out. But fat is sometimes ugly, okay? It just is externally, you know, you can be a beautiful soul and fat, okay? It's a fact. But these people don't look good. And so that's Cernovich's point. Oh, no, I didn't think that it would actually click it. I knowingly did it. So anyway, here's the communism that I feel like I'm somewhat okay with from RFK. Real quick.
Hi, everyone. I'm Robert F. Kennedy Jr., your HHS secretary. The CDC was once the world's most trusted guardian of public health. Its mission was simple and noble: protect Americans from infectious disease. But over the years, the agency drifted. Bureaucracy, politicized science, and mission creep corroded that mission and squandered the public trust. We saw the...
Bear with me on his voice, okay? It's really difficult to listen to, but be manly about it, or be tough, be non-judgmental about it, okay? His voice is just messed up, okay? But he's saying true things about the CDC, that they eroded the public trust, or the trust of the people. And they try to blame these guys for the lack of trust, as if we're blind followers, which we may be, but we can see why they're just mad that we're not blindly following them.
Consequences of putting dogma before science during the prolonged COVID mandates of the Biden era. Cloth masks.
I noticed that it did happen under the Trump's era, okay? But Trump did not endorse it. He was for opening up.
On toddlers.
Trump didn't wear a mask in general, except for when he was in like Walter Reed Medical Center. Cloth masks on toddlers.
6-foot distancing with no scientific basis. Boosters for healthy children. Lockdowns that wrecked our economy, and the suppression of low-cost therapeutics.
So true. The lockdowns that messed our economy up. And listen to him go on. He's going to talk about the teachers' unions. And a lot of you guys, you people who were kids during this time or went to school during this time, you didn't even get your some of you guys were athletes, and you didn't even get your seasons, your athletic seasons. You didn't get your you could have been a great runner, let's say, track runner, and they stole that season from you.
In favor of experimental drugs that were ineffective. The CDC implemented a school lockdown policy that was written by the teachers union and sold to the public.
Unions, all about trying to get out of work and get more money for they don't deserve.
As science. This was the template for the politicization of science that became pervasive across the agency as the agency put politics ahead of evidence-based medicine. The toll was devastating not just for our children, but to public health. America has just 4.2% of the world's population, yet we suffer nearly 19% of the world's COVID deaths.
And I think that's because we're disproportionately old, maybe, perhaps, because we're sort of a shrinking population, at least the normal Americans, and disproportionately fat and out of shape. And also, so we're 4.2% of the population, but 19% of the deaths. I think all the white countries are getting old and fat and out of shape, especially England and America. And it's not, even including the beautiful South. And that puts you at risk for dying from both the regular flu and the real, which is real, China virus, which I don't know if it's as severe as it once was. Maybe it is, maybe it's not.
We literally did worse than any other country in the world.
Wow.
That failure was no anomaly.
And I don't know if I disclaim it, even though it is from the government. He's part of the government. I disclaim what he's saying, take it with a grain of salt, but that's interesting. Interesting claims.
For years, the CDC has presided over rising chronic disease and declining life expectancy.
Wow.
Trust has collapsed. Only a tiny fraction of healthcare workers and parents now follow CDC guidance.
Interesting.
President Trump has asked me to restore that trust and return the CDC to its core mission. We've already shown what a focused CDC can achieve. When measles flared up this year in Texas, we surged vaccines and therapeutics and staff to the outbreak's epicenter. The outbreak ended very quickly. That response was not pro-vax or anti-vax. It wasn't ideological. It was effective. And effectiveness will be the watchword of our leadership. We also know that chronic disease made COVID especially lethal in America. Infectious and chronic illnesses are connected. The very tools we use, vaccines, antibiotics, therapeutics, save lives, but they can also cause harm for some patients. That truth can no longer be ignored. The path forward is clear. Restore the CDC's focus on infectious disease, invest in innovation, and rebuild trust through transparency and by restoring competence. To achieve this, the CDC will protect against threats with advanced...
Okay, so blah, 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 blah. Did you hear he mentioned restoring competence? Okay, so this guy, I don't know if he's he used to be a Democrat until like his 70s. He's in his 70s now, and I think he's now, I don't know what. Which is to say kind of communist. His whole family's kind of commie, if you will. I don't know. RFK Sr., wasn't his dad kind of behind, or one of those Kennedys, weren't they behind the bringing in these 1965 Hart-Celler Immigration Act, bringing in all these foreigners because in the name of anti-racism? I'm shaking my head about it. So anyway, this guy may be a bit of a communist, if you will, or a socialist, right? You relying on the federal government. But if we're gonna have it, and I don't know, okay, I don't know this, but if we're gonna have it, at least be competent. Be a competent communist, not an incompetent and totally corrupt communist, the way that these people seem to be. This guy is the one, this gross, woke, if you don't mind me calling him gross, guy holding his flowers. They gave him his flowers. I think he resigned, which I'm happy about, The Dmitry Deskalakis. Is that Greek? Don't know. Shout out. But this guy's like, this is the one who was talking about Trump erasing trans people. Is he wearing a beads bracelet, or am I seeing things, imagining things? Are those beads? Are those beads? Is he wearing like a beads? You know, those wooden beads or whatever? Girly beads bracelet? What's this gal's shirt? Interesting. DC, the swamp, nasty, living in its own world, just complete, not Christian. Anyway, so competent commie.
Sense
Yes,
detection.
please. Yes, please. A more fatherly mama, you might say, if he's mama. Popcorn. Nice, huh? I like that. So, there you go. I'm definitely for. I like that Trump is doing it. I heard something that the DC mayor is very popular. Let me see if I can find that actually. Just a quick side note. The DC mayor, is she popular? Let's find it. If I scroll down, it might be true. It might be findable. Where's Scott Adams' post? Okay, so much Epstein news without any actual Epstein news. Okay, no, I don't have it handy. What if anyway, Trump called her very popular. Trump called Muriel Bowser very popular, and I think that she kind of appreciated Trump cleaning up the crime a little bit on the thing, on DC. Muriel Bowser. It's kind of like I like when Trump compliments these off the deep end Black Lives Matter liberal black females like Muriel Bowser. He only did one, okay? He called her very popular. Something very nice in a Truth Social post. It's kind of like, you know, how I started to like the French guy who married an older woman. And yes, I believe that she's a woman. I don't believe that evil woman who says that she's not a woman. Okay? Shout out that messy woman, we'll call her. Who thinks that she's not a woman. She's a woman. She's just an older woman. The French president or whatever the guy is, prime minister, something or other. Nice. So, highly popular Muriel Bowser. Sweet. I have to get to Jermaine in Canada, who's on the line over here. Jermaine, thank you, sir, for holding and calling. What's up? Are you there? Jermaine.
Hey, Hake.
Hey.
All right.
Doing fine, sir. Thank you.
Nice. Kind of forgot now.
You were going to talk about the Epstein files.
Oh, before the Epstein file.
Okay.
Oh, what's that lady that was talking about MARILYN or something like that? About she's,
MARILYN says
God
she's God, and everybody is God, but they don't know it.
Nice. Shout out. Oh, that guy made a funny comment. I find it interesting. It was funny. He said he rated her like an 8 or something.
Yeah.
And that's why she thinks
yeah, my
she's God.
coffee from Caesar said she sounds. I don't know if he meant that she sounds like an 8 or looks like an 8. If he looked up her profile pic, doxed. I don't know.
Nice.
And indicating that all 8s, 9s, and 10s are crazy. Anyway.
You have some truth behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to comment on that. When Jesus said he came to preach the word and to bring heaven, something else. It came to bring the kingdom of God, where it will take away sorrow and pain. But in this world, the the kingdom that he's bringing soon, but in this world, there's still going to be pain and heartbreak, something along those lines, you know. So it's kind of saying like, yeah, of course, things are going to happen in this world because it's off this world, but the spiritual world, when you die, doesn't mean that you're dead, but the body dies.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, yeah, shout out to John the Baptist, man. What the?
She's going after John the Baptist. That's sacrilegious. That's sacrilege.
Yeah.
Anyway, nice.
Oh, yeah. Disclaimer. So, for the Epstein file,
okay,
you kind of touched on it today where, you know, I saw this video earlier this morning of this. I think she's one of the victims. I didn't get to dive in it too much.
So-called, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So-called
and
victims.
she was...
We'll call him accuser. Well, she's one of the accusers, we'll say.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was saying that they demand the file to be released, and people were cheering them on, and she said if they don't release the file, they're going to make their own list. I'm like, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, they're making their own list, so they're going to end up smearing people. Because, you know, Alan Dershowitz, to this day, people are smearing him just because he was named. And even though he cleared his name in court, which, you know, we all know that courts don't mean anything. So just saying it is a permanent, in people's eyes, damage to your so-called reputation, which we all know you don't have a reputation. People hate you anyway. It just comes out for whatever reason at different times that they hate you. So it's so dirty and disgusting and phony and Me Too hype-esque. Remember the Me Too movement where women and
believe
gays,
all women.
Yeah, women and gays all of a sudden got the bravery of the crowd because everybody else was doing it. I have an example of that. Since everybody else was doing it, that gave them the so-called courage, which is not courage at all, to name their abuser, so-called. Their violator. Disgusting. Wow, Hake, the most powerful lawyer in America beat a 19-year-old girl in court. So impressive. Name is cleared, LOL. This woman, Virginia Roberts Giuffre, was like my age. Like she was in her 30s or 40s, Kevin Howe. and quite frankly, that woman, I think, was on a woman kick. She said, and I quote, paraphrase, that us girls are not going to let these men get away with it. She turned it into a man-hating thing. She's a liberal, or she was.
I believe her, though, because all women hate men. And it's the same thing, the opposite way. So
you believe her?
I believe her.
What do you mean by you believe her?
With what she's saying?
You believe what she's saying?
Yeah, she turned it into a hateful thing towards men.
Right.
So she's definitely right. Not right, but she's right in what she's saying because she hates men. So it's the evil in her. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you don't believe her accusations necessarily. You
No.
believe what she said, that we women are not going to let those men get away with it.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, you're not supposed to believe women, but they say believe women. During the Me Too movement, that became a line, a quote, a slogan, believe women, which is satanic.
You know, funny thing, it's funny to me because I find it kind of weird, but not really, that people listen to women. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Because I find it kind of annoying at times when they talk, because it's a bunch of nothing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's totally that's what Scott Adams or somebody said, that, and I quoted it yesterday, that there's a whole lot of there's a whole lot of Epstein news without any actual Epstein news or something like. So much Epstein news today without any actual Epstein news. Oops, I clicked. So true. That Scott Adams posted that on the 3rd. So much Epstein news today without any actual Epstein news. And like you just said, it's because women, it's because it's all about women, which is to say a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, the Anchor Baby did a show. I think, was it Monday?
Yeah.
I can't remember when he did the show. And on that actor, what's his name, man? That actor that has dementia or something along those lines.
Oh yeah, Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. And all his daughters and wife made it all about themselves.
Oh, wow. I didn't notice. I didn't catch that part.
Yeah, they made
They're
it all about
using this
themselves.
man, huh? And posting him on social media in a sort of undignified way. I wonder how he would feel about that if he were able to express it or whatever is going on with his brain. It seems to be in major decline.
So it's kind of the same thing we're seeing with the Epstein file now. It's a trailblazer. Let's run with it. Let's, see what we can get out of it. Even though these girls, I don't know what age they were, but
some of them were in their 20s.
What caused them to end up in that situation in the first place?
They like to use, they like attention. They like to use men. They they were raised poorly. They were runaways. Some of them. They were liars and into all kinds of degenerate stuff. That's what my understanding is.
Nice.
That's what I heard.
Makes sense.
I disclaim. Yeah, they're not victims. They wanted to be there. They're calling it, oh, they were raped. I doubt that.
Nice.
Yeah, they liked it. Sorry, that's dirty. I disclaim. I disavow that. Never mind. I take it back. I repent.
But the views on the show does not express Hank himself.
Yeah, I don't represent myself. That was
nice.
A shameful statement, but they may have some of them, and now they're playing victim.
I mean, it happens all the time. I see it all the time.
Yeah.
So you're not wrong.
And there's times when men push further or go to places where the women don't want to, and I can sympathize. I don't think that that's right. I sympathize.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that they use the term R word so loosely, the rape word, so loosely. It's ridiculous. Anyway. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going off about this topic. You can tell I'm on my high horse about it. It's terrible.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's just funny that was the thing, the highlight of it, of the women. They're saying they're going to make their own list. I just find that interesting.
And then Marjorie Greene is talking about, and I'm not afraid to read it on. It can be scary to name your abuser, but I'm not afraid to read this list on the whatever floor. And Thomas Massey, the simp, calling them survivors, and it's the Constitution because we can get away with it and not get sued for defamation. Ridiculous. Evil.
But that's kind of interesting, right? Because I think that's most women's fear, to end up in a situation where they're R-worded.
That would be a strong traumatic event, I would think, if it were actually real.
Yeah, it's a great selling point for them.
Yeah.
It's like when you're in sales and you know the psychology of who you're selling to.
Yeah.
You get good at it. But it's kind of evil, right?
It totally is. It really is. It's kind of using people's emotions about children, because that's what they're bringing up is children. Because people are starting to not feel sorry for women anymore. But if you cast them as children, and that is what they're doing. Meanwhile, a lot of these girls were grown. They were not. They were anything but children, and certainly not innocent. Anyway,
that's for sure.
Great, interesting, man. I appreciate your call, Jermaine.
Yeah, I want to touch on one more thing. I'll be quick about this. I
Okay.
know it's Jesse's question, but you don't have to say anything. I just want to like maybe put my little thought on it because I called into his show, but he was so busy. When he says, how do you know when you're spiritual?
Okay.
And it was funny because I'm like, oh, all the time, because when you stop identify with Christianity, you become spiritual. And I'm like, oh, now I'm like, I can see a little bit. I'm like, okay, I realize when I know I was spiritual, I was one with evil all along. Because you identify with spirituality and you think you're good now because it becomes a new identity instead of Christianity. But there's really no difference. It's all identity that
Yeah,
we attach to. And because it's new, you think you're good.
Yeah, it's such a trick, huh? You get on an ego trip. It's kind of like what I was talking about with Alex from Texas yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Talking about you learn something new, be it from JLP or whatever, and then you get on your high horse and think you know something. Terrible. What a mess. And you trade one ego identity for another and you think you've changed. It's like I remember hearing this one guy say, I used to be a macho alpha male, know it all in front of these women. And then he switched from being that in front of women, according to what I perceived, into being that in front of other people. Like he just switched like his pride, just the objects of his prideful looking down on people switched from women that he was dating to other people. He just switched. He still had that same ego identity. Pretty interesting.
Oh, was this the guy from Australia today?
No, I'm talking about you don't know this person. I just it was just an example in my personal life. But thank you, Jermaine.
Nice.
I appreciate it, man.
All right, nice chat with you, Ake.
All right, take care.
All right, bye.
Bye. I got to get to Alex in California on the line over here. Alex, what's up, man?
Thank you, Bear.
Hey.
So I got to ask, is Jesse like rushing you like after his show into your show?
No, he's not rushing me into my show. But why do you ask?
Can we get you to do like a daily affirmation and the number one affirmation will be, my name is James Hake, and I'm going to have a smooth intro today.
Yes, you can. We certainly can. Was today's intro smooth or not smooth? Was it bumpy?
Oh, we haven't had any smooth ones in weeks now. Sometimes
you know what?
I feel like you don't care.
Yeah, I feel like the most smooth or smoothest intros are when I have the sense to play a song before I play my intro song. But I'm not sure if that's the case or if that's just my perception or my judgment.
Well, I'm just waiting for that nice, smooth, consistent, let's get right on with the show. And there's always like a little, kills it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, good luck with that.
Thank you, man.
So yeah, I wanted to, just a real quick one today. I saw a video that just got me disgusted. I'm already disgusted with women, but more with men. We'll start off with all comedians are liberals.
Ooh.
And I've never, just from looking at them and never hearing them, I knew right off the bat that I do not like Bert Schreider or Tom Segura.
Ooh.
Familiar with those two?
Shots fired. And
Yeah,
now
I've
heard of the second one. I don't know offhand the first one by name, but go ahead. Continue.
So basically, they're both the archetype of the stupid American white male, like Peter Griffin type that the globalists, quote unquote, want us to be like. And I don't like that because it's the opposite of what I think we should be doing is being gentlemanly alpha white men, not these fat slob, retards. And like this guy's wife basically she was talking to like a 21-year-old, and they're like, what advice would you give to a single 21-year-old female? And Tom Segura's wife says basically like you should bang everybody and be quiet about it. Like, don't tell anybody. Go bang the whole football squad and just be quiet about it. Go bang a dog. Do whatever you want, you know, because men are immature and you're not going to lock down a husband until you're in your 30s, and don't even worry about that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just, oh my God, like that's the exact mentality that you know, we're kind of up against. That it's just like, I don't know, man. Like these guys, why do they allow their women to talk like that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I was a little vulgar with that, repeating what she said. It's just, I don't know. How do you sit and let your wife like speak to someone else like that and then not put her in check? It's crazy to me.
Man, the ladies are so lost, huh? That's a shame.
Yeah, and they have this analogy of women are like buying a used car, but I'd like to push it even further. I'd say it's more like buying a lemon.
Yeah.
If you're a car guy.
A lemon is worse than a used car because a lemon is a car that just has problems.
Yeah, so it's kind of a dad joke, but I think it's true.
Yeah, I think so too, man. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, I really don't like the that type of man personality where you're just like, my wife's a W word. She can do whatever she wants. I don't care how she speaks. You know, I'm gonna go drink beer and watch TV. As long as I'm getting my P word, it's all good.
Yeah, what a shame. We the stuff that males are willing to accept from women has really increased and gone out of control. And because we ourselves, men themselves, males and women, are both so weak and needy and out of control. And so just and it's like an emergency, you know? Go ahead.
We got to turn that around like immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm only doing it personally, but it's like there's got to be some man out there that's going to tell all the men to be men again. You got to listen.
I agree, man. Did you see JLP on Your Mom's House with Tom Segura and Christina, his wife? That was.
You know what? I think I actually did see some shorts of that.
Okay. It was in.
That was good. That one was good.
Yeah, it was good. And actually, she was better than him. It seemed like Christina seemed to be receiving it better than he.
Yeah, he's afraid of the black thing. Totally.
Oh yeah. That I saw a clip of this man, Tom Segura, on a competitor of mine, Joe Rogan, and they were talking about Ye's H-Man song, the HH song, N-word, Hail Hitler.
Right.
And it seemed like Tom didn't know exactly how to handle it, so he was like scoffing and looking down on it. Can you believe this is terrible? Type of a mentality, until Joe Rogan kind of gave him permission to like it and engage with it like a real person rather than politically correct.
Right. And I mean, like, I've somewhat learned it, or at least enhanced it from listening to you and Jesse, but I have like negative white guilt. I don't even have any white guilt. It goes the other way.
Yeah.
And it's like, I find it odd now that I'm so knee deep into this life. It's like seeing other white men be all scared like that of the black thing. It's like, what is your problem?
Yeah. It's everybody got their issues, and some are mind-boggling.
They're just terrified, though.
Yeah.
All right, well, I don't want to take up more time, but yeah, stop being simps, guys. And if your wife is speaking like that, you need to lay this smack down.
Yeah. And shout out to them. We wish them well, if we wish anybody well. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, Alex.
Have a good one.
You too. Much appreciation to Alex in California there. Very nice. I was showing, if on the video screen, I was showing this podcast from a year and more than a half ago. January, I guess, 2024. JLP on Your Mom's House podcast, episode 743, The Amazing Opinions of Jesse Lee Peterson, YMH Studios on YouTube, with Your Mom's House with Tom Segura, and Christina P. Very fun and cool episode. I disclaim the comments of him. That's him. I don't know them that well. Although it may be true, it may not be true. A few super chats, and I'll get back to your calls, everybody. Someone bought a coffee. No, the claim that 1 in 20 men have a 13th rib is incorrect. The incidence of supernumerary extra ribs include cervical or lumbar ribs is much rarer, affecting 0.5% to 1%, rather than 5%, 1 in 20. It's more like 1 in 200 or 1 in 100. The general population, not specific to men. Stay trippy, mateys. And remember, when Jesse comes to Australia, AU, you have my email, Hake Mate the Great Mitt. Thank you, Mitt. Or nice. So you looked it up. Interesting. What in the world? Why did that happen? What happened? Why are you doing that? Stop it. I wonder why that's happening. What am I doing? I'm a boomer. Pardon me, audio listeners, something just kept on minimizing. See, there's again, it keeps on minimizing on me. And then it maximizes. You know what look at it. Look at what it did. It's a ghost. It's haunted. There, I alt-tabbed, right? Alt-tab. Anyway, fat people appease. Let me try to read this fast. Fat people, keep doing it to me. What's happening? Maybe, okay. Maybe I'm doing hot corners. Yeah, see, hot corners. Maybe. Okay, so my mouse is over here, okay? Let's hope it doesn't do that anymore. Fat people appease the imagination by feeding it food. If they could stop thinking, they could stop eating. Plate and silverware emoji. Thank you, Eric, with your 5 coffees. See, I did it again. There, it's a ghost. Maybe there's something touching the screen here. Look at it. But I don't need you anymore. So we're just the show must go on. If you wanna work over here, you're welcome to, but you don't have to. William in California is on the line over here. William, thanks for calling and holding, man. Oh, actually, I need.
Hey, James, what's up?
Not much.
Hey, that coffee.
Yeah.
I'm having it right now. It's good.
Oh, Punchy's coffee. You're having Punchy's coffee.
Yeah, man. It's pretty good, man.
Hey.
What's
Jesse
that black? Which one I got? I got the blackety black. What is it?
Blacker than black.
Yeah, I got that.
JesseLeePeterson.shop. Right on, man. Much appreciated. See,
yeah,
people.
I had. Yeah.
Ignorant people make claims that so and so never supports. Right? I don't know if anybody has made that accusation against you, and it's
they
not.
don't even know.
Yeah, people. In other words, you guys don't know what people do behind the scenes.
Nope.
So
they don't know, and if I do anything, it would be in more forms than a super chat.
Right.
It would not, and it won't be to be publicized. It would be from the heart.
Yep. Right.
I don't need it to be publicized.
That's a good Catholic.
Thank you. Because I give to that too.
I think you fixed it, Anchor Baby. Maybe not, but you might have fixed it. Thanks. Sorry,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the coffee's good. The coffee's good.
Right on.
And I'm not gonna. I don't think. Overreaction is not good for you. I don't think I'm gonna shoot this coyote because he's not gonna let me get close to him anyway. So
you're tempted to shoot a coyote. That's
was to kill it, but the thing is I'm not gonna do it because that's you're not going to see them till night, and shooting a gun off at night, even in the country, I just don't think it's a good idea. So
Fair
I'll
enough.
just put the calves up, let them grow a little bit for a couple of weeks.
You know what you brought up reminds me of this caller on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. Very interesting. There's these people that started messing with this guy in a movie theater. One guy put his legs up on the armrest of this caller, and the caller in this situation, according to him, he looked back and gave kind of like a dirty look to the guy, and the guy just shrugged it off. And so he and his friend got up and moved to a different place, and they followed him and did the same thing. And he felt the rage, but he didn't do anything necessarily. He moved one more time, and they didn't move anymore, and they didn't bother him anymore. And sometimes that's the thing to do, rather than to punch a guy out over somebody messing with you.
Overreaction. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to shoot this thing. This thing is probably not going to let me get near it anyway. So. I'll just stay up here for a couple of weeks, and I didn't know I had this coffee because I called my lady. I'm too old to have a girlfriend. I called my lady and said, "Where are you at? Are you at my house? Bring me some jeans. Bring me some clothes. I'm gonna stay up here. And why don't you while you're at it, won't you come on up and go around the block with me a couple of times?" She said, "No." And you got coffee. I said, "Where's the coffee?" She's like, "In your car." Open the bag, in the car, in the trunk.
Right
there
on.
it is. Jesse's face. Amazing.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, Bowser might be getting popular because she caved in.
Yeah, that certainly can help. When you cave in to what's right, people can appreciate that.
She caved in. She caved into Trump.
That's Muriel. Is it Muriel Bowser? Somebody was correcting me. Muriel Bowser, not Muriel. I don't know how to read.
Yeah, she caved in, and there has been 17. The arrest has went up. There's 1,700 arrests now.
Wow, 1,700 DC criminals. Wow.
Right. So I mean,
according to William,
I talked to not according to William, because I talked to somebody on the ground.
According to somebody on the ground who talked to William.
One of our old friends. No. One of you and I. One of our old friends. Good guy, Lord Graham.
Oh wow!
He told me
that guy's from DC, huh? Or Maryland.
He told me what was going on. You know, he's at work at the time, and he said, "Hey, I can tell you, I'm looking out the window. It looks better. It does look better."
That's awesome, man. That's heartwarming to see a black town's atmosphere improve because there's a crackdown on the crime.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like 43% black, but that's a lot. That's a lot.
That is way too much.
But I mean, that's a small area too.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a concentration of the black element.
Yeah. Right.
And a lot of that has a high criminal element per capita.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I said
we missed. Oh, let me tell you a little story. I told her to come on up here. She said, "You just want me to." I said, "Yeah, would you come up here and pick some tomatoes while I mess with the cows and everything? And I can come on the porch and look at you like the color purple, you know?"
I haven't seen it.
and bring some dirty clothes and wash them by hand and hang them up on the clothesline while you're at it. She says, "I think you'll love to see that." I said, "I really would."
That's funny.
You know, I said, "Because we're men. You guys die without us."
Yeah.
But the kid, we missed this one about the crime in the urban cities. What's happening with the young man, Ethan something, for Florida State linebacker, went home to his parents and got shot in the head. He's in critical condition.
Oh, I hadn't heard about that one. That's crazy, man.
His name is Ethan Pritchard.
Okay.
Florida State linebacker, freshman. I mean, my God, they're even killing the college kids too? God.
Yep. No one is safe.
Well, the guy up in Chicago, went into his little speech. I think was it yesterday or something. He was talking about
Oh, Brandon Johnson, the mayor.
slavery and how we built this city. First of all, slaves did not build anything in this country.
Yeah.
They need to
Oh, they
stop
helped
that.
build the White House a little, I heard.
Yeah.
They helped with a little bit with the the manual labor construction of the White House.
They overreact on this stuff a lot, because and I know you've heard that we've been in slavery for 400 years. How many times have you heard that one?
Too long. For
And how
400
many
years.
have we?
It
how many
feels like
years
it's been
has
400 years I've been hearing that, but it's really been like 10 years.
It was like how many actual years were we? Did the United States have slavery?
From the 1600s to the 1800s, so that would be less than 250.
200. Yeah.
Or
So they always
250,
go
thereabouts.
400 and
As if anybody lives that long other than Maryland, who is God.
Oh, man. Hey, so they had this big bus on, and didn't I tell you about that Arleigh Burke destroyer? You see what happened? And Trump said he's not messing around with you.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. You see how precise those weapons are? That's the Navy. See, the Navy, and my boy Rick, he was in the Navy. You know the Navy is the number 2. You know what the number 1 Air Force in the world is, right?
The IDF.
United States.
Oh, the United States. Sorry.
Yeah, the United States Air Force.
I wanted to give Israel their flowers.
You know what the number 2 Air Force is?
The Royal Air Force.
The United States Navy.
Oh, the U.S. Navy, because the Navy also has an Air Force.
Right.
Off the aircraft carriers. Yeah.
They're the number 2 in the world behind the United States Air Force. They don't play. And Trump even told them, we're not playing around with you.
Yeah.
That boat had a lot of drugs on it. It was like bales of fentanyl.
Wow.
And they were tracking this boat with the equipment that they have. They were tracking this thing, and as soon as it left the Venezuelan waters, it was 11 people on that thing. And then they had a bus with some fentanyl material. They said it would take 24 diesel rigs to ship it to where it was going.
Wow.
These drugs, yeah. They're catching a lot of them. They said the destination was what is that? Everett, Washington, Seattle, Washington, and Cincinnati and Dayton. So they got a lot of drugs yesterday. Big bust. Our greatest president is really doing a good job. And
yeah.
He took 250,000 Venezuelans Protection Act away from them.
Now, there was a judge who tried to stop that. Did that get overturned or what?
It's all temporary.
Yeah.
Because they said something about that this morning. Our Supreme Court judges are fearing for their safety because all of this stuff is getting overturned. All these lower judges' actions are being overturned. And, some of the Supreme Court judges are saying, man, these guys are really... These people are really acting up. These liberals they're really violent too.
They are. They're crazy. It's insane. They're the ones who are trying to intimidate people saying we will not be intimidated by Trump. They are the ones who operate on intimidation. Yeah. William, I got to run. I'm out of time.
Care.
You too, man. Take care.
You had a good show, and take care. We'll talk to you another time.
Sounds good. Enjoy your coffee.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Bye. And so the rest of the callers, beautiful Maze out of the sundown town of beautiful, beautiful Dayton, Ohio. Perhaps almost as beautiful as Maze. Is glad about the CDC, which is nice. She, too, joins us in our joy at the returning competence of the scared woman-led CDC, now competent communist man-led. And the rest of the super chatters and callers, I'll have to get to you later. Peace in the beautiful Middle East. Catch American Anchor, baby. He will be live very shortly here, I do believe. Adios, America. And take care. And I'll see you tomorrow and tonight at the men's forum for the fellas. Bye, guys.